Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's version of EverWorker Live. My name is Austin Bram, and I am the AI evangelist here at EverWorker.
My name is Christopher Good. I'm the director of product marketing here at EverWorker, and we're a little bit in theme today, right? We're festive. We are here celebrating the holidays.
Trying to be at least. But before we get going, I want to do just a few little ground rules for today's session, more or less just so that you all have as much fun as possible. As you can see, Chris and I are trying to have as much fun as possible too. Is throughout this whole entire live stream, if you have any questions, you have any comments you want to say, you want us to answer anything specific, then throw it in the chat. If you're on LinkedIn, you can throw it on the comments and we can see it all from here so that we can answer in the meantime, if we can, like at that very moment. As well as you can always reach out to us after the fact. You see us on LinkedIn, and you can always come over to everworker.ai as well to get in contact with all of us. But for the rest of today, we're more or less going to be talking all about revolutionizing your go-to-market with an AI workforce. So I want to kind of lay this whole thing out for us here with the idea of AI first is a fundamentally new way of operating. So Chris and I just got back from New York City from the AI Summit last week. And we've also, traveled all over the world to different events. And it is very clear that it is becoming mainstream at this point for the idea of AI first, or AI native, whatever you want to call it. An AI first company is how we always talk about it. And it is a growing interest, and everyone is starting to at least fundamentally understand that that is something that they should be striving to do. And what does it all boil down to in kind of a big way is the idea of infinite capacity and limitless capability. And we at EverWorker like to call that doing more with more, when we're also used to doing more with less. But Chris, if you want to tell them a little bit about what that actually means in the real world.
Yeah, absolutely. So imagine you're in marketing or you're in sales, right? And you're constantly being told to produce more leads, write more blogs, create more content. Oh, and by the way, your team of SEO researchers or copywriters just got laid off, because of cost-cutting measures, right? We've all seen this before. Do more work with less resources. Now, imagine having an entire marketing AI workforce that does the keyword research, that does the content creation, that updates the CRM with MQLs, writing relevant blog and ad copy that they might find valuable. That's what we mean by revolutionizing your GTM strategy, because this applies to every step in the process, as I'll show you here in a little bit. Ultimately, though, being able to do more work with more capacity and capability in a world where we are constantly given less resources, all because of AI agents or AI workers.
Yep, that's absolutely right. And so when we come down to this, the concept of AI first is something that, like I said, everyone's more or less striving for, whether they know it or not. But there's two main places that companies end up falling into because they're not necessarily sure what they should be doing. And the first of which is what's called AI fragmentation. So let's just say, hypothetically, you watching here, you're told by your boss, you're told by leadership, or you're just told by everyone on social media, hey, you need to start using AI for your business, for your work, whatever it is. So what do? You start looking for AI marketing tools, AI sales tools, AI HR tools, as many different industries as you have at your business or that you're interested in. Okay, AI tool, agentic AI tool. All of your systems, for the most part, nowadays are advertising that they have or are bringing AI capabilities into their tools themselves. So then naturally, what do? Okay, well, I guess that means I need to buy that one, and then I need to buy that one, I need to buy that one. And then as you do this, you start to realize, okay, there are hundreds, if not thousands of AI tools that you could be using, especially across all of the different industries. And every single day, there's more and more that are coming. So as you go through all this and you start grabbing more and more, you realize also that all of these systems and these tools do not work well with one another. They don't talk to each other. They don't connect to the others. And if they do, it's just too confusing for the average person to figure out. So it leaves your data and it leaves your business completely fragmented in a way that nothing is connected. Nothing is actually seamless through all of this. So when you think about this, okay, you probably are seeing some actual ROI behind these point solutions, as we call them, because they are doing, let's say, some things with you, for you, to help you out. So it is helping in some way, but in the grand scheme of your business and everything together, it's too fragmented to actually work. But the good thing here, this is a better place to be than what we talk about after this, because you can just cancel your subscription. You can just get rid of the tools. It's not that difficult to do that. But where a lot of people, especially mid-market to enterprise level businesses, end up is in a place called AI experimentation.
Now, when it comes to AI experimentation, I'd say that this is arguably worse, right? Failure. It's all too common here, whether it's internal IT or engineering resources or external consulting. Failure happens for the same reasons, right? Business leaders who see clearly how AI could revolutionize their operations find themselves trapped in this endless cycle of IT dependencies, of technical translations, and delayed implementations. The result, these AI initiatives cost millions. They take months to deploy, and they often miss the mark entirely when they arrive, right? So all that to say that experimentation sounds maybe a little bit better than fragmentation, but fragmentation, you're at least making progress. Experimentation, you're sort of just burning resources, time, and energy. But
Yep.
it does not have to be this way. Isn't that right?
It certainly doesn't. Especially, I mean, I don't know about you, Chris. Last week at the conference, there was a lot of big companies there. A lot of the largest enterprises that you see, or a lot of just large businesses. And when at that point, we have all heard of kind of the idea of buy versus build. Which one should I do? And traditionally in the software space, it has been traditionally better for the larger companies to try building themselves, because they have the capacity to do so. They have a whole team of AI engineers or software engineers. But then, like Chris just said, you realize that it takes inevitably months, because the IT teams are so bogged down with normal IT, roles that they have at the business. But then they also have the marketing department, like Chris and I, saying, "Hey, please make this AI agent for us." So they okay, put it on my backlog, which takes so much time in the first place that they don't have. And in this ever growing space of AI, every month and a half, 2 months, there's like a revolutionizing new thing in the AI space. So if you're not building it in under 2 months, guess what? It's already too old. And we've all seen that before. And if you are in that kind of space, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But Chris was absolutely right. It does not have to be this way.
Time is of the essence, I will say. That
time is
that's probably your most important thing, and not necessarily picking, as we'll get into, different technologies, because there's new ones that do come out, as Austin said, every month, right? But the big breakthrough is sort of these conceptual ways of thinking, or new platform might have new capabilities, right? And being able to utilize those and work those into your thinking and your processes is really where you start to see, I think, that difference on a month-to-month basis, right? The technology hasn't changed a whole lot. Well, I mean, it has, right? But I'd say the biggest thing that's changed in the last, 3 to 6 months for our team internally is just the way that we go about thinking and working in this new technology into our processes, right? And that takes time.
Yep. And it really does boil down to these 3 simple AI first principles that we have come up with just by seeing for ourselves, and more or less seeing what's going on in the industry as a whole, the AI industry as a whole, to see that there are some common things that AI first companies do. So the first one is that they leverage AI to actually solve real business problems. So instead of your leaders or you just thinking, okay, well, before we even get started, I need to make sure our data is 100% clean and everything is perfect. And Chris, which model do you think we should use? Is that important to ask?
Oh no, it's not important at all, unfortunately. It's trivial in the game of becoming AI first, that transformation. The model, unfortunately, I hate to break it to folks, isn't going to make you AI first.
Yeah, it says that let's say Claude 4. Opus 4.5 versus Gemini 3, heck, even GPT 4.1, way back when. Now at that point, a whole 6 months ago. That's not going to make that life-changing of a difference for the average business user, basically. So it's trivial, like Chris said, to take too much time to start arguing and, let's make a panel to figure out which of these is going to be the best for us to use. It is important for you to focus on what are my day-to-day business users looking to get done, and then focus on those instead, because that's what actually makes a difference in someone's life, is being able to say, hey, Chris, what if I told you I could save you 3 hours of work a week? Does that sound good to you? And the answer is probably yes, right?
Yes. Yes, it
Rather
is.
than saying, Chris, hey, want me to give you GPT-5 access? And you're like, okay, what is that going to do for me?
How's that
You
going to
have
help
to
me, right?
Exactly. You have to actually focus on solving real problems. And then number 2 is when you want to adapt, actually you need to adapt AI to your business rather than adapt your business to some arbitrary AI system. Your business processes are what makes you you. That's the reason that you are successful enough to be a business in the first place, because you have processes that you follow. So there is no need, and there's definitely no reason that you should change who you are at an organizational level to just fit some idea of AI. Oh, I'm just doing AI, right? This is what I'm supposed to do. You want to bring AI to you and find something that can connect to all of your already used systems and processes. And then number 3 is this one is, I would say Chris and I talk about this one probably the most, is empowering everyone at your business to be able to build, manage, and use AI. Not just the IT leaders, not just the AI engineers, but those that are even non-technical. That is of utmost importance, because a majority of the business world is non-technical. And thus far in the world of technology, it has been, let's say, confined to only the technical. But as we all know, through any technological revolution, over time, it democratizes to more and more people so that more and more people can use it. And we are at the point right now where AI is in that same boat, where even the non-technical can start to lead that. And the beauty of it is Chris is more technical than me. I know how to code a very little bit, but even still, it's just kind of very rudimentary. And even Chris and I can build very sophisticated AI systems, like he'll show you right now.
But I will say one quick point there on number 3 is, I'd encourage anyone who's watching this to think about the job that they do, and on a day in and day out basis, and think about your engineering team. And ask yourself, is there a world where this engineering team that's going to be making this AI agent for me, or that hypothetically would, knows more about my job than I do? I would be shocked if anyone answered yes, right? And that's the sort of the power of Everworker, right? Is we understand that, we recognize that it's real, right? That the line of business experts are the ones that know the job better than anyone else, because they do it day in and day out So to get the best AI agent that works exactly like it should, you need to empower them to be the ones creating it, right? And facilitating that use. So we're going to shift gears now and sort of talk a little bit about how we as an organization have adopted Everworker to be able to fuel our entire GTM funnel, right? It's the concept of one platform and one full life cycle. And these workers or agents working together, right, to help each other at each stage, ultimately. In this case, scaling our GTM exponentially to where it was before. So at the tippy top, the first stage we're going to talk about here is awareness. And thank you very much. We like the Christmas setup as well. Now, the first stage we're going to be talking about is awareness. And at this specific stage, it is incredibly important to drive impressions, to gain organic traffic, and to increase our MQLs. So one of our workers that we've implemented here, agents that we've implemented here to help us scale our GTM is our SEO content manager, right? Now, this worker creates complete content clusters, pillar pages, supporting articles, all optimized for featured snippets and search intent, right? So how we use it is we need to create a content cluster around, let's say, X AI workers for X use case, right? The worker is going to research keywords, analyze top ranking content, and write, let's say, 6 to 8 pieces. The value for us is that we're 10xing our content output without ever adding writers, right? And every piece is SEO ready on the first draft. Now, moving to the next stage, we have to convert those leads, right? Now, the goal of this area of the funnel is to lower CAC, to higher our conversion rates, and ultimately we want to be able to test campaigns exponentially faster than before. So a great worker that we've found very useful in this part of the funnel is our ad copy and campaign AI workers. Now, what they do is generate ad variations using conversion psychology, right? A/B test headlines and optimize based on performance data. So how we use it is we want to launch a campaign targeting a VP of operations in manufacturing. And what it will go out and do is create 20 ad variations with role-specific pain points. For us, the value is that we're able to test exponentially more creative, find winning messages faster, and stop paying agencies for iteration. Excuse me. To be more specific, I think last quarter we tested roughly 700 ad variations, right? Ultimately finding the ones that really hit home. That's very powerful, right? And those numbers speak for themselves. Now, the next piece of this funnel is going to be pipeline, right? Converting those leads into pipeline. More meetings, faster response time, better qualification. And what better worker to do that than our SDR AI worker? Now, this worker handles inbound and outbound. What it does is research every prospect, company role, news, tech stack, and crafts a personalized outreach, right? Manages multi-touch sequences, and even goes and updates the CRM for us. Now, how we use it is to research, let's say, 500 prospects that came in this week. And each customer gets your prospect gets a custom email referencing their specific situation as it applies to Everworker. And our value here is that we're seeing reply rates at a 3 to 6x higher than generic outreach. And our SDRs, they're focusing on conversations that people they're interested in, right? Not doing research or just having noise on their calendar. Now, moving down the funnel, or through the funnel, I should say, the next piece we're going to be talking about is velocity, right? And accelerating deal velocity. Now, the goal here is to shorten our sales cycles, to increase our win rates. And one of the best workers we found to use for this is our sales transcript BANT analysis worker. So what it does is it takes calls, it listens to calls, and it scores them on budget, authority, need, and timeline. It identifies gaps and it recommends next questions, right? So we'll upload a transcript and we'll get a Bandt score with coaching insights. The value here is that objective qualification on every deal. We stop wasting cycles on unqualified opportunities, and we really can invest our time where it's best, right? Now, the last piece we're going to talk about, sort of as far as using AI to help scale and increase our GTM efficiency, is going to be to close deals, right? This closing phase. Now, the goal here, obviously, higher close rate, higher proposal to close rates. And we really want to find it's important to speak that CFO language, right? Because at this point, you're often finding your sales folks in procurement, right? Or dealing with procurement. So for us, the worker that's brought in probably the most value is this business case creator. Now, what it does is it takes pain points from discovery and it builds ROI models, implementation timelines, risk analysis, and this executive presentation, all done within a customized PDF that's branded with Everworker branding, right? No more just basic, say, Jazzless docx files, right? Now, how we use it is we build business cases for every deal that comes in, right? It creates a custom ROI showing X amount of value, X percentage in return over X amount of months, right? Every deal gets CFO ready justification. Proposal to close rates have been up 25 to 40% because of that. Now, just to frame this for everyone here who's listening, we're using AI workers across the entire funnel. And unlike fragmentation, we're not using it as point solutions, right? But as this connected workforce. The SEO worker feeds content that the ad workers promote, which generates leads that the SDR worker will end up qualifying, which creates opportunities that the business case worker will help close, right? So that's what we meant at the beginning of this. It's one platform, one full life cycle that's supporting it.
And that brings up like an important point that I think that we see all the time, Chris, specifically, is most people, since especially the idea of AI and the average business user being able to use AI, a lot of people aren't used to the idea of, okay, how do I measure ROI on this? Because when we think about in the stats that are between 80 to 90% of AI business pilots are failing because they're not showing any ROI. And a lot of the times it comes down to because people, first off, yes, AI fragmentation and AI experimentation, but they also don't know how to qualify and quantify what does ROI look like. So the fact that there is a business case creator AI worker that we use to at the end of the cycle when we're closing with a prospect, showing someone, hey, this is how, just give it your idea, and then it can break everything down for you. It starts to make it real for the average business user. And that brings everyone to the idea of, okay, Austin, Chris, this sounds great. But like, tell us more. How do you actually do this? And that leads to who we are at Everworker, because we are everything that you need to become AI first together with your business. And we do this in three main ways. And this is going to be through our services department, which you might find, hey, these all sound great, Chris. Thank you so much for showing us, the whole life cycle of the GTM AI workforce. I don't know what to do next. That's where you can say, hey, let's just use the services department at Everworker, and then at the end, just give us this AI workforce. That's what our whole services department is for is to work with you to figure out how can we best deliver this for you to help you get to speed faster. And the way that we do that is through our platform. The platform is the backbone of our entire system, more or less, because it is an easy to use, drag and drop, no code, low code, agentic AI platform that allows even the non-technical business users to create sophisticated AI workers, as you realize that we call them instead of AI agents, because we found that it can do real work for you, not just fragmented tasks here and there, an entire life cycle of work for you. And then lastly would be our education department as well, because we realize that there is a need in the market to upskill and teach people about AI in general. A lot of people are scared because they don't understand fundamentally what AI is or how to even think about it. So we have a whole education department as well, which Chris will touch on after this. But then I just want to show you what this kind of looks like with our platform on the back end. You can think about an iceberg where we all have heard this, 90% of the iceberg is below the water that you don't actually see. Top 10% is what you do see. Our platform has abstracted away all of the too complex, too technological, too time-consuming aspects of building an agentic AI system. We take care of all the RAG pipelines. We take care of all the memory. We take care of all the databases. We take care of all the infrastructure so that all you have to worry about is the top 10% where you see a beautiful AI worker or AI workforce that is doing things with you and for you.
If you can describe the work, you can create the worker. That's what we like to say here. And just this Everworker Academy plug here, I'll jump in very quickly. It's free to the public, right? This is open to everyone. And as Austin said, this is, of course, as you get deeper and deeper, there might be some stuff that's a little bit specific to Everworker, but the purpose of this is to upskill anyone and everyone, right? This is an active service to the AI community. We want to be thought leaders and be helpful in this space. And what better way to do it than to give free courses and free certifications that are reputable? You'll get one at the end. Feel free to post it on LinkedIn. And the goal here is to take you from AI fundamentals, right, all the way through a AI sort of master class to have you become that AI champion at your own org, right? We want you to feel just as comfortable and confident as we do talking about it to you folks, for you to be able to talk about it to your company and your organization. That's the goal here of Academy, is to make you a champion.
Exactly. And that all boils down to the idea of that you can make AI your competitive edge with Everworker because of our platform, our services, and then our education department. So thank you very much, Chris, for breaking down your whole go-to-market workforce. If any of you are interested in learning more about how you can start to implement your own go-to-market AI workforce, please feel free to comment on this live stream, as well as you can head over to everworker.ai, and you can even request a specialized demo of your own AI workforce. But that's all for us. And Chris, this is our last live stream of 2025. So very exciting. Thank you for all the amazing live streams. And thank you everyone who has been watching over this past year. A lot has happened in the Everworker world in the last 12 months, and we're going to be having way more going on in 2026. So we look forward to seeing you all there. And then Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. I'll talk to you later, Chris.
Season 1's a wrap. Looking forward to season 2 next year.
That's right. Season 2's dropping soon. All right, everybody. Thank you very much, and we will see you all later.
Simply describe what you need, and Creator collaborates with you to understand every detail. No technical knowledge required. If you know the work, you can create the worker. Watch as Creator builds your AI worker in real time, configuring data sources, setting up analysis engines, and creating integrations. Your competitive intelligence specialist is now working around the clock, delivering insights your team needs to stay ahead. Now your team can get instant competitive intelligence whenever they need it. Ready to create your AI workforce?